Hi everyone, welcome. So I hope everybody's doing well. I thought I would record a little video for you today, a mini flow. It's in my flat and I do have 3 dogs, and so we may get interrupted, so please bear with me. I'm going to invite you to maybe grab a block, or if you don't have a block, something that's kind of this shape, or maybe a rolled up towel. Maybe just something so that you can rest your wrists, a block or something like that, maybe a cushion or a rolled up blanket to support you, and we're going to start by sitting on that. And if you have an essential oil, then as usual, then grab an essential oil. So let's start. Let's get set up, sit on your blanket, sit nice and tall, and let's take our oil and we're gonna rub a drop. If you don't have an oil, then maybe something that smells nice. Rub your hands together, sit nice and tall, find that awareness to your pelvic floor, drop your shoulders away from your ears, drop them down your back body. Let's take a few breaths. And we're gonna work with a mantra today, that I am here. Okay, so I just want you to, as you breathe in, just to say that mantra a couple of times to yourself. And bringing your hands down to your heart. Let's open our practice with an arm joining our voices and our hearts. Deep breath in through the nose. Let's make an intention for our practice. And connect to the mantra, I am here. Being fully present in your body, in your practice, for this short time that we're going to be together today. Fluttering your eyes open, sliding your hands down to your thighs. Let's start to find some movement in the neck. So this practice today is going to be very gentle, really honouring the shoulders and the upper body and the spine. So a very nice, gentle, slow flow. So just finding some movement in the head. Maybe rolling all the way around. That feels good for your neck. Coming back to center and starting to find some movement in the shoulders. Just releasing the shoulders up and back. And then changing direction. And maybe take your hands onto your shoulders and find that movement with the elbows. So we're really opening up in the shoulder sockets. Nice deep breaths into the belly, feeling the belly expand with the breath and change direction. And extend your hands up to the sky. And place your hands down next to you. And pushing the earth away with your hands. And moving your left arm over and back. And opposite side. Feeling that opening in the side body. It's getting really long in the side body. I'm feeling that extension from the hip bone to the fingertip. And coming back to the center. So if your hips will allow, then we're going to place one shin on top of the other. If this is not serving you, then just find Sukhasana. So just bringing your shin bones one in front of the other, okay? And from here, we're just going to start to either just move the body forward a little bit and see how that feels on your hips, or start to walk the hands forward a little bit more, coming onto your fingertips and allowing your head to just release down. Maybe walking the hands forward a little bit more and allowing there to be that space in the low back and that space in the hips. And let's walk our hands all the way back. And let's take our right leg underneath our left leg and let's extend our right arm up towards the sky and bend the right arm behind your head. So maybe you have a strap, or maybe you're just going to place your hands onto your back here. And then reach your fingers towards each other and push your head into your forearm and just feel that opening in your heart and your shoulders. If it feels too much, then just release the lower hand down. Just feeling that little opening in the shoulders. Keep drawing the shoulders down the back body. Beautiful. And then release. So option just to have the legs crossed. Changing the position of the legs. Taking your left hand up to the sky. Bringing the hand behind you. Again, just checking in with the shoulder. And then bringing your other hand behind you. Maybe the hands reach, maybe they don't. And push the head into the lower arm to get that opening. Beautiful, nice deep breaths. Gomukhasana, cow face pose. Beautiful, opening the hips and the shoulders. Gorgeous, and then release. And let's move our blanket out of the way, so you may need it to support your knees. And we're going to come to all fours. Taking the fingers wide, pushing into the palms, knees in alignment to hips and elbows, in alignment to shoulders. And then we're going to inhale, lengthen forward. And exhale, look towards your navel and arch the spine. Inhale. And exhale. So again, connecting to the mantra, I am here. Feeling present in your body, in every cell of your body as you move. Find your stillness. Tuck your toes. If you are nursing any wrist or shoulder injuries, know that you can stay in cat-cow as we take Ardha Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, start to lift your hips and keep a little softness in the knees. And just start to find some movement. So just pedaling your feet, keeping a nice hip distance between your feet and just finding into that movement. Feel some intuitive movement, maybe just moving and looking from side to side. I am here. Hearing the sound of your breath, tightening the back of your throat so you can hear the breath, your ujjayi breath. One more breath here. And let's start to walk our feet to the front of the mat. Feet hip distance apart. Take your hands onto your elbows, soften the knees to find space in the back and find a little spinning movement from side to side. And let the elbows be heavy and let's let the hands just drop down. Let the hands be heavy. And feel rooted in your feet in the floor so your feet feel stable. Feeling that flow in the top of the body.
Let's feel grounded into all four corners of the feet and start to root up, curling up through the spine, slowly coming all the way up. And taking your hands up over your head. Let's soften the knees, palms touching, come all the way down. You may need to bring the feet a little bit wider to find some space. Beautiful, slow, sensual movement all the way up. Gorgeous, all the way down. All the way up. And bringing your hands to your heart space. And take a moment to pause here. Again, connecting to that mantra, I am here, I am present. Inhale, take our hands up to the sky, palms to touch. Exhale, release your hands down to the mat. And step back to downward facing dog. Find that alignment of your feet. Push into your hands. Walk your feet slightly closer together. Inhale, take your right leg up to the sky. Just bringing the hips parallel so the right hip doesn't go up too high. And then exhale, plant your right foot in between your hands and drop your left knee. Okay, so if you need some support of the knee, then take it. Coming onto either the front of the foot or keeping the toe tucked. Pushing into your fingertips and finding your alignment, your space here. And then inhale, taking your hands up to the sky. Let's keep the hands quite wide. And drop the shoulders down the back. And maybe this is where you stay, or maybe find a little opening if that feels welcoming to your heart today. Beautiful, and then exhale, plant your hands down, take your right hand on the inner arch of your foot and take your right foot a little bit wider. And we're going to find a little bit of movement here, a little bit of opening in that right hip. Again, going easy. Maybe you may want to come down onto one of the forearms. Maybe that feels too much. And maybe you want to come onto both forearms. Listen to your body. It's fine to stay up on the hands. Allow the head to just relax. Allow the knee to just drop out a little bit here. And slowly, slowly coming up onto your hands. Bringing your right foot back. Either staying here, finding cat-cow, or tucking your toes, lifting your hips. Downward facing dog. Again, bring your feet slowly a bit closer together. Inhale, take your left leg up to the sky. But keep the hips in alignment so the hip doesn't splay up like this. Not yet. Take an inhale. And exhale, plant the left foot in between our hands. Come down onto the right knee. Either keep the toe tucked, use a blanket under the knee if you need. Find your alignment here. Maybe taking the knee and the thigh back a little bit more. And then when you're ready, take your hands up to the sky. And drawing that left hip bone back a little bit to find that deepening. And listen, maybe you need some support. Take that support if you need it in your hips. Or maybe come with me and come a little bit deeper. And really stretch and open through the fingers. Beautiful. One more breath. Beautiful. Plant your hands down. And take your left hand on the inner arch of the left foot and just walk the foot out towards the outside edge of the mat. And again, start to find that movement. Often we have one hip that's more open than the other. So find those little circles here. Maybe that's where you stay. And maybe come down onto one forearm and just find a little rocking action here. And maybe come onto both forearms and allow the head to release, but going really easy. Wherever you are in your practice, just listening. One more breath. slowly, slowly coming up onto your arms. And let's walk the knees back. Just take the knees wide and just take a little moment here. Coming onto the fingertips, allowing the forehead to release down. Make our way up to all fours, tuck the toes. Take as many rests as you need throughout this practice. Lift your hips to the sky. Inhale, take your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, plant your right foot in between your hands. Either drop the back knee or come onto the back toes as we raise our hands up to the sky. Bringing your hands together, we're going to find a little twist. So taking your left elbow and hooking it over the right knee. Keep charging into the back thigh. Finding that little twist, rebounding out of the leg. Beautiful, release. Inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Exhale, drop the knee down to the floor. Bring your hands to your heart. Work your hands forward and then bring your hands back, coming into your cactus arms. Okay, and again, all the way forward. And opening, draw the shoulders back, open your heart. And again, inhale. And opening. Take your hands up to the sky. Transition, tuck the back toe and start to lift the leg up, coming back into your high lunge. Place your hands down to the floor and step back, downward facing dog. Other side, inhale, left leg to sky. Exhale, draw the left foot in between your hands. Come onto the back toes, charge into the back thigh. And lift your hands up to the sky. Wrap your little fingers round, feel strong. Bring the palms to touch. You can drop the back knee if this is too challenging. And then slowly bring your right elbow and hook it over your left knee. Push into the forearm and really draw the belly up through the ribs. Getting some heat into the body, moving the energy. Push down into the feet, rebound up, open the arms, and slowly draw down into your low lunge. Coming onto the front of the foot or keeping the toe tucked. Bringing your hands to your heart. And drawing that left hip back a little bit so the hips are level. And inhale forward, exhale, opening your heart. Inhale. If it's too much with the toe, like the feet like this, then tuck. Opening. Inhale. Opening. I am here. And again. Inhale. And open cactus arms. Expand your heart. Inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Exhale, plant your hands down to the earth. And step back into downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Take a rest. Know that you can come into these poses from all fours if downward facing dog feels like it's too much for your shoulders. Let's walk our feet to the front of the mat. Knees nice and soft. Walk your hands towards your shins. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold down. Looking through the legs. And again, inhale, keeping a little softness in the knees. Exhale. And let's inhale, look forward, take our hands all the way up to the sky. And bring your hands down to your heart. So we're going to find eagle legs and eagle arms, okay? So first of all, let's just work on the legs. So root down into the left foot, and you're going to take your right foot and bring it around the leg. So it may not go all the way round, but if it does, then great. If it doesn't, don't worry. So try and bend, find that little bend in the legs to find your eagle leg. Wherever you are, just rest in that position. Find your drishti, your gaze point, and then bring your left arm underneath your right arm, okay? Bend into the knees a little bit more and see if you can draw the elbows away.
Okay, so this is our little grounding pose that we're going to come back to, Gadodasana Eagle. Stay with me. If you need to release into tree legs, then do. And then release your arms, take your arms behind you, extend. And then bring your arms in again. Okay, so we're going to find a little bit of balance here. So we're going to start to release that right leg and bring the right leg up in front of us. And then we're going to bring the right leg back into our high lunge. From here, we're going to take our thumb slightly towards our thigh. And then we're going to root forward. And then coming all the way up, strong on the legs. Stay with me. Bring your elbows into alignment to your chest. Take your weight into that left foot and bring the right foot through. Release your eagle arms. Take your arms wide and hug the leg into the body. Squeeze the leg in. Well done. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment. Find your breath. Let's do the other side. So take your weight into the right foot and swivel your left leg round. Wherever it comes. Find a little bend in the knees. Little bend. Feel grounded here first. Find your centre of gravity. And then take your opposite arm round. Hands may clasp, they may not. And then we're going to draw the elbows forward a little bit if we can. And try and root down into our centre. So like when we did Gomukhasana on the floor, this is very opening for the shoulders and also for the hips. And take a breath here, see if you can go a little bit deeper. And we're going to release our arms with grace, with poise, and look forward, extend into the fingers. Beautiful. Coming back as slowly as you can. And rebind the hands. Release the foot. Keep soft in that right knee. And step the foot back, finding your high lunge here. Okay, so either staying here, or finding that little movement where we take the thumb towards the third eye, and then coming forward. If it feels too much, just release the arms. And bringing your elbows to your heart, find your balance. Take your weight into the right foot and step through. Take your hands around the left shin and draw it in towards your belly. Place your feet on the floor. Inhale, take your hands up to the sky, palms touch. Exhale, fold forward. Bringing your hands down to the floor, heel to toe in your feet so they're a little bit wider. And let's sit into the hips. Bringing your hands together. And sit back into those heels. Place your hands down to the floor. Straightening through the legs and stepping back to downward facing dog. Find a little pedaling here. Downward facing dog. Take a rest if you need. Now I'm going to start with the left foot so that you can see me a little bit more here. So let's take the left leg up to the sky. Point the toe. You can take the left leg a little bit higher. And then bend into the knee. Spread the toes. And see if you can look underneath your right side body. And just allow the toes to splay out here. And then extend the leg, finding that level quality of the hips. And then exhale, plant your left foot in between your hands. Swivel the back foot so it's at a 90-degree angle. And root to rise, coming all the way up into your warrior two. Okay, so you may want to take the block here, or your book, or whatever it is you've got. And place it on the outside edge of your foot, okay? So just having it there so that if you need it, it's there. And our knees in alignment to our ankle. Let's take our arms nice and wide. And from here, just to move into the pose, we're going to turn our palms to face the sky, look forwards, and then straight into the leg, bring the palms together. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Beautiful. Exhale. Palms come down. Drawing the energy up from the earth. and down from the sun and the moon. And again, inhale up. Exhale. Let's stay in our Parsvakonasana. Drop our shoulders away from our ears. Check that our knee is in alignment to our ankle. And take your back hand onto your thigh. Reverse warrior. Bring your hand up and over. And then exhale. For the first one, let's just place our forearm on our thigh. And take our arm up towards our sky, under the sky. Maybe you want to get a little bit longer in the side body and extend the arm along. Or maybe just keeping the arm here. Listen to your body. Keep rooting into the outside edge of the foot. Listen to your breath. Push into the feet, root up, coming back into your warrior two. Back hand on thigh, front hand up and over. And let's flow into the full pose, either taking your hand onto the block, onto the lower edge, and extend your hand up to the sky, and just be aware of your hips. If your hip bone is starting to come in a bit here, then maybe get a little bit higher with the block. And again, if you want to get a little bit longer on the side body, bringing the hand so it's flush with the ear. One more breath. And into your legs to rise all the way up. Beautiful. Let's windmill the hands down to the earth. Step back. Step back to plank pose. Let's come all the way down onto our bellies. Bringing your thumbs in alignment to your nipples. Let's curl up. Curl up. And if this feels like it's too much for your back, then take Sphinx pose on the forearms so it's a little bit easier on the back, okay? So here, if your back feels quite open, push into the legs, coming into your cobra, and have a little bit of a movement from side to side before we do the other side. And coming all the way down. Releasing your hands to your shoulders, tucking your toes, coming up through all fours, knowing you can stay here or take a rest, or tuck your toes. And downward facing dog. And other side. So lifting, I'm going to lift my right leg. It means you're going to see my back side, so I'm probably going to move around. Switch around so that you don't have to look at my bum. And then move your block, so have your block on the outside edge of your foot. And then float up to warrior two. I'm never very good at block positioning. Beautiful. Find that alignment. Knee in alignment to your ankle. Turn your palms and inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Final one. Inhale up. Exhale down. Find that gaze point. Back hand on thigh. Front hand up and over. And let's find our Parsvakonasana. Resting the thigh. And if you have got shoulder issues, you can just work with the arm down or extend up. See how that feels. If you want a little bit more length, then extend your arm and maybe take your gaze up. Nice breaths here. Floating all the way up through warrior two. Back hand on thigh. And then release down, bringing your hand on your block. I like to use the blocks. You can go all the way down. But just check that this hip bone doesn't start to come in. And mine does a little bit. I've been doing a lot of workouts and I think my hips are a little bit tight. One more breath. Keep pushing into the feet and coming all the way up. Beautiful. Inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Exhale, windmill your hands down to the floor. Move your block out of the way. Floating down onto your belly. Thumbs in alignment to your nipples, or walking your hands and coming onto the forearms and floating up and finding a little movement, listening to your body from side to side. Beautiful, everybody. Now let's come all the way back, knees wide, and let's just take a moment in child's pose. So slowly coming up to all fours, let's tuck our toes and lift our hips. So this is the final little flow that we're going to do today in this little mini practice that we're doing together. So inhale, take your right leg up to the sky. And exhale, draw your right thigh in towards your belly and stack your shoulders over your wrists. From here, we're going to slide the right foot down to the floor, coming into a little pigeon prep. Okay, so pushing into your fingers, a little bit more of an active pigeon. And then walk the hands forward. And allow your head to release down onto the floor, elbows come up to the side. And then coming all the way up. And finding that little rebound in your spine. We're going to bend into our back leg and we're going to twist and have a look at it, okay? This may be where you get to today. Or you maybe can reach behind and take hold of the foot, lift up through the spine and draw the foot towards you and have a little spin, okay? Maybe that's for you today, maybe it's not. And then reach your foot down onto the floor, plant your hands, and we're going to come back into our plank pose, okay? So then from here, take your weight into the left hand and spin over onto the left side, okay? If this is too much, then you can drop the lower knee here, okay? Or you can support by bringing the right foot forward and staying here. If you want to come with me, coming into Vashisthasana, okay? So maybe you can just hold here for a moment. And we're going to step that back foot and place it behind us and find that little opening here. Just feeling that sweet opening of your heart. Beautiful. Placing the hand back, coming back to your plank pose. Coming all the way down onto your belly. Finding a little opening here, maybe in Sphinx. Maybe with your hands coming up. Beautiful. Coming all the way down. Pushing back to all fours. And lifting our hips, downward facing dog. Hopefully you're fine and still with me. Other side. Left leg comes up. And then we're going to draw in and hug the thigh to the belly. Really hug, stacking your shoulders over your wrist. And then with grace, we're going to slide that foot through. Coming into our active pigeon. So coming onto the fingertips and just adjusting here. And then from here, just walking the hands forward if you can. And then just allowing the elbows to come out to the side for a little stretch here. And then curling up through the spine. Walking the hands back. If you need to come out, then do. And then just bending that right leg. And maybe today it's just a little look behind at the foot, checking in with your knee. Maybe you can reach behind and take the foot and kick the foot away. And maybe you can draw the foot in towards you. See where you're at in your practice. And then release the foot. Plant your hands down onto the floor. And we're going to come into our Vashisthasana on the other side, okay? So we're going to spin and come onto the outside edge of the foot. And it may be again that your foot is in front of you or you need to drop down and take a modification which is all the way down. Take your hands up. Bring your hand over. Find that length. And then maybe step that top leg back and find a little wild thing here. Feels lovely just to open up the heart. Delicious, crazy wild thing. And then slowly bring your hands back down to the floor. Find your plank pose. Slowly come all the way down onto your belly. Bring your hands under your head and just take a moment here. I am here. And let's bring our feet in towards us. And just hold on to the top of the feet, keeping the thighs grounded. And just find a little movement here. So we're kicking the right foot and the left foot away. Okay, nice and gentle. Keeping the thighs connected to the floor. And then if you want to take it a little bit further, Hold both of your feet in towards your buttocks and then lift the feet away. So pushing the feet into the hands. If you feel very open in the spine and you want to take it a little bit deeper, then lift and maybe have a little rock today. And then place your thighs down, place your thighs on the floor. Bring your hands under your head. And bring your hands under your shoulders. Let's push up through all fours and find our way into downward facing dog. Just release, find a little movement in the hips, and let's walk our feet towards the front of the mat. Hold on to the elbows, let the head be heavy, let the knees bend, and curling up to the spine. Taking your hands all the way up to the sky, and bring your hands back to your heart. And let's slip our right foot wide, nice and wide. Okay, and let's turn the feet slightly out towards the side. Slide your hands down the legs and allow your shoulders to come up by your ears, okay? We're going to find a little movement. This is lovely to release into the shoulders. So right side and left side, arms stay straight. Back to the centre. Bring your hands together at your heart, straighten your legs, turn your feet round so that the feet are flush with the edges of the mat. Interlace your hands behind you. So again, if you're nursing shoulder issues, then maybe you just want to hold on to the elbows today, or maybe just stay holding the hips if this feels like it's too much. Soften the knees a little, squeeze the shoulders together and fold forward. Wherever you get to is where you're meant to be today. If this feels good for your shoulders, then allow your hands to drop down, but really listen to your body. I'm going to invite a little bending in the right knee and the left knee. Maybe a little movement. Dog's chorus from side to side. Beautiful. And then just hanging out here, relaxing. Gorgeous. And then we're slowly going to come all the way. Take your hands up to the sky, interlace the fingers, push the ceiling away. Beautiful. Bring your hands down to your heart, interlace and look towards your belly so you're arching the top of the back. And bring your hands in towards your heart. Let's heel to toe the feet in. And let's come back down again into Hindi squat, and just take a moment here. Extend your hands out in front of you, come onto the fingertips, allow the head to release. And let's just push our left hand down into the ground and push the upper arm into the thighs. We find a little opening here. And for some of you, maybe you want to find the little bind. Bring the hand on the low back. Beautiful, back to the centre. Lift those arms and then other side, place the hands down. Just connect the upper arm with the leg and find that opening from here like a blossoming flower. I am here. Maybe you want to find the bind. Beautiful. Coming all the way back to the centre, dropping the head down. Let's find our way into our final child's pose of the practice. So let's start to find our way back to seated. I'm going to invite you to sit on a blanket, sit on a block. And let's place our right hand on our heart and our left hand onto our womb and take a moment here. Again, coming back to our mantra, I am here. And take a moment to breathe into that. And feeling that you're being breathed. And all of the cells in your body are being breathed. Being guided by a force much more powerful than us. Just allowing the body to ground, coming down. Let's extend our left leg and bringing the right heel in towards the groin. And we're going to slide the left hand down the leg and bring our right arm up and over. Okay, so you may want to stay quite high on the leg, or you may want to go down a little bit further, but try not to collapse the body. Try and find that length in the side body. And it doesn't matter if you're quite high up. You know, we've been inside, we've been going through quite a lot, so just be gentle with your body and just allow yourself to ease in. And we're going to float, placing our right hand down on the floor and our left hand up and over. This little floating process. And then we're going to exhale, reach over the leg again. And again. Final time. Come back to the centre and changing legs. Okay, so heel comes in. Let's just reach down the leg, bringing your arm up and just noticing how your left and your right side move with your phone. Following that. Placing your hand down onto the floor. Up and over. And then floating. Allowing there to be that space, not pushing. One more time. Maybe you can reach down towards the foot. Wherever you are, just honouring that space today. And let's flow back to the centre. And taking your legs wide, Upavishta Konasana. So again, going nice and easy today. Maybe that you just come forward a little tiny bit. It may be that you want to use your block and you're working with coming a little bit closer to the ground. And sit forward on your blanket. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, start to walk your hands forward. And as you inhale, just allowing the cells to fill with prana, and as you exhale, allowing the body to just float. And going through this process of inhaling, and then exhaling. As you exhale, just allowing there to be that little float. And again, lengthen. And exhale, release. I find that a block just helps my body let go a little bit more. This is a great pose to create some space in the hips, and the hamstrings and the spine. Final breath. When you're ready, slowly walking your hands back to the centre. And we'll come back into our double pigeon. So if this pose feels good for you, then come into double pigeon. with the feet flexed. If not, then just come into Sukhasana, so a cross-legged pose, okay? Final little hip release here. So let's inhale, take our hands up to the sky. And exhale, fold. And just walking the hands forward, allowing your head to release. And allowing, just getting to your breath, allowing any sound to just disappear, focusing on your breath. And slowly walking your hands back to the center. And let's make our way into Shavasana for our final resting pose. Okay, so lying down, getting yourself nice and comfortable. I'm just going to come in for a little while with you. If you want to pause me and stay for a little bit longer, then please do. If you want to support your knees, then also please do. I'm just taking a few moments here just to relax. And taking your time, allowing all of your body to completely let go. Pausing me, staying for as long as you want. Giving yourself the space this time. And when you're ready to come out, just bringing your knees into your belly and taking a little rock from side to side. Probably it's a bit of a dog fest. And then rolling over to your right hand side. And slowly making your way all the way up to seated. Okay. dog in view. And let's bring our hands towards our heart. And let's finish our practice with one Om and 3 Shantis today. Sending peace out to the world, peace to those that we love, and peace out to ourselves. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I am here. Enjoy your day. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.